Excuse me, sweetie. This is first class, not student discount. The woman chuckled, eyes scanning the 17-year-old black teen from head to toe, as if her presence alone was a mistake. Her husband leaned over, sipping champagne, and added with a smirk, "Don't worry, hon. She'll figure it out once she sees the price tag." Laughter. Cutting. Loud enough for nearby passengers to hear, and pretend not to. The girl froze, boarding pass clutched tightly in her hand. Her lips parted, but no words came out, just the echo of her heartbeat pounding in her ears. She had triple-checked her gate, double-confirmed her seat, won it. First class. Paid in full. Still, the couple stared at her like she was a trespasser. A flight attendant, hearing the commotion, approached with a well-practiced corporate smile. "Is there an issue here?" "Yes," the woman replied, pointing at the teen. "She's trying to sit here. It's clearly not right." The teen calmly handed over her boarding pass. Her voice didn't shake. "This is my seat." The attendant blinked. "What? Let me double-check with the front desk." As she walked away, the woman leaned in again, eyes narrowed, lips curled into a sneer. "Next time, try economy. You'll feel less out of place." The teen slowly sat down in seat 1A. Her jaw clenched. But she said nothing. Because what they didn't know, what no one around them knew, was who she really was. Clapperboard, and when the CO steps on board minutes later, this entire flight will take a turn no one expects. The teen sat still in seat 1A, eyes fixed on the clouds just beyond the window. Her hands rested gently on her lap, fingers folded with intention, the way her father had taught her. Always carry yourself like you belong, even when others try to tell you otherwise. She wore no designer brands. No flashy jewelry. Just a neatly pressed black hoodie, soft curls pulled back into a bun, and a small leather backpack that looked more functional than fashionable. From the outside, she didn't scream wealth. She didn't need to. The older woman beside her shifted with obvious discomfort, shielding her handbag like she was seated beside a threat. Her husband rolled his eyes and muttered beneath his breath, "God, it's like anyone can just buy their way in now." Passengers across the aisle glanced over, eyebrows raised, but no one spoke. Just the same silent judgment, the kind that doesn't shout, but slices deeper. A flight attendant returned, the tension following her like smoke. "Ma'am," she said, glancing at the boarding pass again, "you are indeed in the right seat." The girl gave a small, polite nod. "Thank you." "Still doesn't make sense," the husband whispered, loud enough to be heard. The teen turned to look at him. Her voice was calm, almost gentle. "I didn't ask for your approval. Just my seat." Then she turned back to the window, letting their discomfort speak louder than any argument. What they saw was just a quiet teenager. What they didn't see was what she'd built. Or who exactly was about to walk down that jet bridge and turn this flight into a story they'd never forget. The flight settled into routine. The usual chime of seatbelt signs, trays clattering, flight attendants gliding up and down with practiced ease. But something about row 1 still pulsed with tension, a quiet electricity that hadn't faded. The girl in 1A remained composed, eyes on her tablet now, sketching something with rhythmic strokes. A logo maybe? A flowchart? No one could quite tell. In the galley, 2 attendants whispered in hushed tones. "That girl," said the junior one, peering over discreetly. "I swear I've seen her photo before. Maybe in Forbes." "Don't be ridiculous," Claudia snapped. "She's just another TikTok kid playing rich." Meanwhile, in seat 3C, a man in a gray suit adjusted his Bluetooth earpiece. He leaned forward slightly toward the attendant. "Excuse me," he said, glancing at 1A. "Is that Miss Bennett?" Claudia paused. I don't believe so." "Why?" The man smiled, puzzled. "Strange. I was scheduled to brief her on the ethics keynote in San Diego. She's on the cover of our Tech Summit brochure." Up ahead, the girl looked up from her screen, her gaze brushing the conversation, unbothered. A moment later, a neatly dressed woman boarded from the cockpit, not a passenger. Her name badge read, Director of Onboard Experience. She bypassed everyone, walking straight to 1A with quiet urgency. "Miss Bennett, she said softly. We weren't informed you'd be flying today. Would you like privacy in the executive pod? The couple 2 seats over froze mid-sip. The girl smiled, polite, not smug. No, thank you. I'm fine here. A ripple of murmurs began. Passengers glancing. Whispering. A man mouthed to his wife, "That's Zara Bennett, right? From Bennett Aviation?" Someone from economy stood halfway out of their seat, trying to peek. And the couple that laughed? They were sinking now, not just into their seats, but into the realization that their arrogance had blinded them to who they were sitting next to. And that someone with real power was already watching. The plane had just touched down when the first whisper started. Outside the window, a sleek black car had pulled up beside the aircraft, not on the runway, not near baggage, right beside the cabin door. Security moved with swift precision. And leading them? Victor Bennett, CEO of Bennett Aviation. Zara's father. Passengers craned their necks. The couple who'd laughed earlier were now visibly unsettled. The man's leg bounced. The woman fidgeted with her scarf, whispering, "Wait, that can't be him." Victor boarded with silent authority, flanked by 2 uniformed managers. He didn't scan the cabin. He knew exactly where to go. Straight to row 1. He placed a hand gently on Zara's shoulder. "You good?" he asked softly. Zara nodded with a calm smile. "I stayed in my seat. Like you taught me." Victor straightened. His gaze snapped to the crew, then to the couple sitting across the aisle, pale, tense, shrinking. "Who told my daughter she didn't belong?" Victor's voice cut through the cabin, low but commanding. Every passenger was listening now. The woman stammered, "Sir, we didn't know who she was." "That's the point," Victor said cold. "You didn't need to know. Respect isn't earned by last names. It's given by character." The husband opened his mouth, but Victor raised a hand. "Save it. You judged her for being young, black, and quiet. Not for anything she did." Murmurs rose among the other passengers. A woman in 2C clapped once, then others followed. Quiet but clear. A manager leaned in. "Mr. Bennett, shall we remove them?" Victor nodded once. "Kindly escort them off my plane. They can fly commercial next time." As the couple were led out, faces flushed, heads down, Zara remained composed, sipping water, not gloating. Claudia, the flight attendant, tried to slip away, but Victor's eyes found her too. "We'll talk next. And it's going to be thorough." The cabin exhaled. Justice had landed. Zara sat by a tall window overlooking the runway, her hands wrapped around a warm cup of tea. The chaos was behind her now, the stares, the humiliation, the disbelief. A young female reporter approached her with gentle steps. "Miss Bennett, if you're willing, can I ask what today meant to you?" Zara looked up, a small, calm smile on her face. "I think today reminded me that people still see what they expect to see," she said quietly. "Not who you are. They judged me by my skin, my silence, and my age. Not my presence or my worth." The reporter nodded. "And when your father stepped on that plane?" Zara chuckled lightly. "He didn't come as a CEO. He came as a dad who taught his daughter that dignity doesn't need volume. That you don't have to fight ugly with ugly, you just have to stand tall." She looked directly into the camera now, her voice more firm. "This isn't just about me. Every day, someone is told they don't belong, in a boardroom, a classroom, a neighborhood, a seat they paid for. And every day, someone else stays silent and lets it happen." She paused, then added, "We can't change every mind overnight, but we can hold people accountable. We can choose courage over comfort, and we can lead by example even when no one's watching." The reporter leaned in. "Is there something you'd want people to take away from what happened?" Zara smiled gently and spoke without hesitation. "Respect isn't a privilege you earn, it's a standard you uphold." The screen slowly faded to black. What would you have done if you were in Zara's place? Have you ever been misjudged just because of how you looked or where you sat? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. If you believe respect should be given to everyone, not just a few, tap that like button to support justice and dignity. Don't forget to subscribe to Justice Narratives for more powerful stories that stand up to prejudice and celebrate quiet strength. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we shine a light on truth. Justice Narratives, where every voice matters.